Okay, so what we're gonna do is very experimental. I've never done this before. What I've done before is to create a vocal, and I might show you in a minute and turn it into another voice. What I've never done is to do a song or a recital or something that's more like you're doing bars or whatever with that. So what you see here on the screen is free for profit beat, written courage, free for profit by Pendo. This guy is free for profit. I must credit this person. No content ID use, meaning they're saying they won't take it down and so forth. I hope so. I've never been taken down for this guy's beats. So this is the beat.
Pendo made it.
So I'm gonna try and the state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing normal, but we tripped onto the ground, restoring trauma. The weed and the sex is sold for cheap in certain corners. In broad daylight, the law is getting thrown out. We've become Esau for soup, rejecting trauma. Something like that, By the way, these lyrics were... Let me pause that. These lyrics were not written for this particular beat. These are just lyrics I have. I've got a lot of lyrics that be in my Google Docs. State of the economy. Let me just save that there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this link here. And then we're going to go to loader.to and put it there. And then download. And then we wait for it below, so that we can get the beat. And after we get that beat, we're going to put it into the recording software that I use. I hope it doesn't disappoint me, because there may be a lot of latency. I'm running a lot of software right now. I'm running OBS. I'm trying to run the browser and so on. And I'm trying to do the AI thing. The AI thing is going to be in something that we call 11 Labs. I'm going to give you a link below. Please sign up to my link. If you wind up paying for some of it, I might get a bit of commission. But if you don't, if you just go there, it's fine. Still fine by me. Because I'm not really using it as a profiteering item, right? So let's go. Let's get that beat download. Okay, so the beat is downloading over here. Usually it doesn't take a long time to download. While it downloads, I'm going to be setting up everything here. I'm going to mute my mic, but I'm also I'm making sure that my mic is working over here. I'm sure you can see where I'm doing this. Let me change this. Yeah, so I just needed to switch to the window where I'm doing that. So this is the recording software I'm going to be recording. Afterwards, we're going to take this stuff to FL Studio, back and forth and whatever. So let's see how it goes. Let me get back into the... What should we do here? Good. Yeah, so the beat is done. So I'm going to drag it into here. Right. So this is just for demonstration now. This is for demonstration purposes. There's nothing called demonstration now. That's not a real word. Okay, so let's go. Yeah. You know what it is?
Pendo made it.
The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing normal. We tripped onto the ground, we stored in trauma. The weed and the sec is sold for cheap. Yeah, let's go. Let's start again. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing normal, but we tripped onto the ground. We stored in trauma. The weed and the sex is sold for cheap in certain corners. In broad daylight, the law is getting thrown out. We become Esau for soup, rejecting honor. Let's leave it there. Let's see what we can do with that. So, if I was really like recording a track where I'm not doing experimental things, I would have loved to go the whole 9 yards with the beat. But for now, for demonstration purposes, demonstrational, as I said the other time, let's see. Yeah. You know what it is?
Pendo made it.
The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing normal. We tripped onto the ground, we stored in trauma. The weed and the sec is sold for cheap. Yeah, I made a mistake there. Let's go. Let's start again. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing. Okay, so I think everything is going well. So I'm gonna solo out this track because I like to work in FL Studio. Let me just call it Trauma, and I'm throwing it onto my desktop. These are the vocals. These are the vocals for Trauma, right? Good. And then we need to do the same thing for this one. So we're going to solo out the beat and then let's render. So let's say Trauma beats. And then let's render the file. Again, this is for educational purposes, so I'm not doing things the real way that I usually kind of like do them, because there's a lot of other processes. If I were recording something where I really want that thing out, like I'd have had different lyrics for this kind of beat. 1, 2, I'd have taken a lot of retakes. I take a lot of retakes, and I don't usually just try to go one take on anything. I chop it up. I try to make sure that every word is delivered well. So I've opened Fruity Loops, FL Studio. This one's a trial version, but it will work for us. You can't see it yet because I haven't put it on the screen on my OBS. Is it going to come out? Let me see. It has to come out. Yeah, it can now come out. So now you guys, you'll be able to see FL Studio, what I'm doing in FL Studio with these vocals, because that's also very important to me, right? So I'm going to take both the you can't see where I'm dragging them from because it's not on your screen. So there's a lot more stuff that I can see on my end that you guys can't see, but that's also fine, right? So what I want to work with is this vocal first and foremost. I'm going to route it to a mixer track. It's on mixer track 4. Let's put it on, okay, 4. This one's on mixer track what? 5, okay? So when we move the mixer here, let's put this on song. So the beat is on the 4 here. Yeah. So I just want to deal with the vocal. You know what it is?
Pendo made it.
Let's go to the parametric EQ. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing normal. We tripped onto the ground. We stored in trauma. The weed and the sex is sold for cheap. Yeah, let's go. Let's start again. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing normal, but we tripped onto the ground. We stored in trauma. The weed and the sex is sold for cheap in certain corners. In broad daylight, the law is getting thrown out. We become Esau for soup, rejecting honor. Let's leave it there. And let's see what we can do with that. Find a sound good diver. Okay, so let's start again. I think for now. Yeah. You know what it is? I think this is loud enough. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing normal. We tripped onto the ground. We stored in trauma. The weed and the sex is sold for cheap. Yeah, let's go. Let's start again. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. Okay, so we've gotten the idea. So let me mute this out so that I can render this voice. But another thing I need, because I don't want to render this the whole length. So what am I gonna do? So I'm just going to shorten this so that when I render this export, right, MP3 file, let me just call it trauma again. Trauma, not trauma, trauma. Okay, so I'm sending this. I've never done this before. I've done the part where I can change a voice into another voice, but not necessarily the. So I'm throwing out these disclaimers out there. Right, so let's see. Do we have AI speech? Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Yes. So now we're going to drag that thing into this window. Let's trash this one. I was experimenting with that one earlier on. So we're going to look for trauma, right? Let's play and see if it's the one. Okay, so there's a lot of space. Yeah. You know what it is? Okay, so let's pause that. Let's start generating so that we hear if the voice is going to change. Yeah. You know what it is? So it's written Carol Africa. So this is a lady voice. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was flowing normal. We tripped onto the ground. We stored in trauma. The weed and the sex is sold for cheap. Yeah. Let's go. Let's start again.
Yeah. You know what it is? Uh-huh. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Sweet enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal. We slipped onto the ground. We stored in summer. The weed and the sec is sold for cheap. Yeah.
But you can kind of see what it's already doing, right? Right. So when it's done with what it's doing, when it's done with this rendition, we're going to be able to download the file with that voice, with that female voice, and we're going to try and put it into the Fruity Loops and see if it's in sync with the other vocals. Then we duck down my voice, and then we see if I can deliver in that tone. That would be very interesting. It's a good experiment. That's why wherever I've posted this, I think I tagged all the producers that I know and all the people that are interested in art that I know, because I know that I'm not going to be able to use it as much sometimes, but sometimes the things that I've done in my entire career is for other people to use, even the people that I used to do animation with and whatever. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Pendo made it.
Uh-huh. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Sweet enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal. We slipped onto the ground. We stored in summer.
Okay, so let's manage the volume. Okay, so there's this noise thing that needs to be reduced, right?
You know what it is?
We must have to put Maximus.
Uh-huh.
Maximus as a noise gate.
The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Sweet enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal. We slipped onto the ground. We stored in summer. The weed and the sec is sold for cheap. Yeah.
Fruity
Let's
limiter.
go.
It's the one with the noise
Let's
gate.
start again. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal.
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, because there was noise. There was noise that came with that. So
you know what it is?
You have to get a clean mic if you're gonna do this. That's why That's why I'm giving this to the producers. You have to have like a clean mic. Not what I'm doing. I'm in my bedroom right now, trying to do this.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Pendo made it.
Uh-huh. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Sweet enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal. We slipped onto the ground.
Yeah, so we've gotten the idea of that. Let's see one more thing that we could do with this. Because here I can change the voice to, there's different guys here. Let's hear the voice preview. Some are men, some are
Logic
women.
will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere.
You get what I'm saying?
God has given you one face, and you make yourself another.
You see? I could make that person do that. I could make, let's see, Dorothy.
Ideas are the beginning points of all fortunes.
Okay, let's try this person. Ooh, let's see how that's going to turn out. I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out. Because that would be quite interesting at the end of the day. 19 minutes into this, I'm looking at but I hope you guys are not getting bored by this. I hope you guys are not getting bored. But this is the last one.
Yeah. You know what it is? Uh-huh. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Sweet enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal. We'd slipped onto the ground. We stored in summer. The weed and the sec is sold for cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, so now I can
Let's
download.
go.
So I'll be waiting for this thing to finish generating, then I can download the voice, right? So I could come with this over here. And then this one is on what? Channel 6. I could put that on channel 6 as well. But what I could do is like, let me mute that. And let's start it over here.
The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Sweet enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal. We'd slipped onto the ground. We stored in summer. The weed and the sec is sold for cheap. Yeah. Let's go. Let's start again. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal, but we took onto the ground. We stored in summer. The weed and the sex is sold for cheap in certain corners. In broad daylight, the law is getting thrown out. We'd become itself for soup, rejecting honor.
Let's leave it there. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Sweet enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal. We slipped onto the ground. We stored in summer. The weed and the sec is sold for cheap. Yeah. Let's go. Let's start again. The state of the economy is in a coma. It's something you and I both know in common. Free enterprise on the rise, but more informal. I wish everything around was slow and normal, but we took onto the ground. We stored in some.
Yeah, so that's what I just wanted to check out, how it's going to go or whatever. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's it. Ned stuff, changing voice. Change voice? Voice change. I'm supposed to say voice change, not change voice. But anyway, you guys got the lecture. Let's meet another time.